Anyways, so my name is Marcus. I go by DJ Instinct as like a bedroom DJ. I love the music. I grew up listening to Eurodance, trance, house music when I was 5, 6 years old through family. In 2010, a friend showed me hardstyle at the age of 15, and it's been a magical journey since. And I've gone through like undergrounds, parties, festivals, and met so many great people, and my efforts are to continuously expand the scene and make it known of how much talent we have in America, as well as potentially bring European artists or artists around the world to our home area of hard dance. And Water Spirit is I don't know how to describe it, but a huge hybrid of amazing sounding, energetic music. I don't know if it's multi-genre, but it's hard dance nonetheless.
A little bit. Sometimes.
And we'll definitely delve into how they'll explain more of that. So without further ado, Water Spirit, you have the floor.
Howdy, I'm Water Spirit. That's it.
All right, cool. I mean, as simple as it could be. So I wanted to know, how did you start producing music from the very beginning? How did you get involved with it?
So I used to animate for like YouTube stuff way back in the day, and some of my friends like needed music for their animations, and I was like, this will be a cool, fun little thing for me to learn on the side. And then I kind of messed around with it way too much, and now we're here. But it's been a long journey of like maybe like 8 or 9 years, 10 years at this point, somewhere around that time.
Did you like find they were doing anime and you were like making music for their animations?
Yeah. I was making like the background music or like scoring like fight scenes or whatever, just a little bit. Like it always kind of like when I started it, it was like a little bit of that and then me making music on the side for like whatever reason, just to express myself, I guess. And like, yeah.
Did you use FL Studio or did you use any platform for that?
When I first started, I used Sony Acid for a minute, which is I don't recommend. And then eventually I found my way to FL Studio. But yeah, it was a bit of touch and go there for a minute. My first song is in a Sony Acid, so yeah.
Hmm.
hmm
I think I've touched on your Discogs, and I saw like not a rave tool or something.
Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. Holy shit, you dug.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
also looking at some stuff I couldn't find on Discog out of
yeah,
interest because your music was very unique, and I was like, where did they like come from? But like,
yeah.
is that your first track, or was that just
No, that's not my first track. I had already I was doing like a different genre when I first started like really getting into like EDM music. I was much more of like a future bass, like Porter Robinson inspired, like 100 BPM fucking kick snare like kid, and that taught me a lot. And then eventually I switched over to hardstyle because I'd always had a love for hardstyle, so
when did you discover hardstyle?
Um, around late middle school, high school, because I started like my first electronic music that I really listened to was like Pendulum's kind of early stuff, and then as well as Prodigy. And then around high school was like kind of Anger Fist, like and some other people that I was listening to a lot, and then a little bit of like breakcore in there too. So I was just listening to a lot of like kind of extreme genres, you know.
Was
Um,
it sorry? Was it like in the 2010 era?
yeah, around 2010. I was in high school, like I graduated in 2014, so
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
so you're one of the privileged ones to discover hardstyle in the golden era.
Yeah. There's a lot of SMF like shuffle videos going around. And a lot of early headhunters
Yeah,
happening at that time.
definitely. Um, have you like played an instrument in high school, or was it just random thought of I'm gonna touch electronic buttons?
No, I didn't even really know like what BPM was when I started. I was like totally fucking like no music training, no music theory, no music knowledge at all. So it took me a while to get to where I am because I was like I don't understand what any of this shit is.
what would you say is like one of the things that kept you on track and you saw the progress you were making and kind of like a test scale, so to speak?
Yeah. So like, well, one, I like was watching like a lot of YouTube videos on producing, and that kind of kept me on track in terms of like progressing, I guess. As well as like Twitch streams were a big thing. I used to watch kid like K question mark D, like his streams, um like pretty fucking religiously back when he used to do those in like 2016. And that taught me like a lot about music. So that was really cool. And then yeah, just I've always loved putting together like visuals and stuff like that. So like the idea of me making like an EP or an album or even a single and being able to do the art for it and like the kind of like visuals behind it, I was that's like my love. So yeah.
Cool. I actually saw Kid, I think 2 months ago. Didn't even know
Okay.
like they existed. And it was a very like wavy set, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Uh,
Yeah, well, he did a hard style for like a very small amount of time, or not small actually. It was probably a few years, but it felt like a small time to me because I was like, oh my god, I want more of this.
oh,
But also future bass legend though, like fucking killer shit.
yeah. So you not only produce amazing, fun, energetic tracks, but you also DJ. So, uh, can I ask what's your favorite part about making the music you make, and what about DJing?
Yeah, so I mean, my favorite part about making the music I make is just like I'm a fucking dork. Like I I just love like fucking grinding shit out and like sitting there in front of my computer letting like the fucking computer like rot me. So like I just I'm obsessed with like processes and like diving deeper into shit because I always have been, and like it was the same way with like animation and stuff like that. Just like
Hmm.
that's kind of what I do. So I really enjoy that, and I enjoy the kind of like worlds that music can build in people's heads, and I think that's a really like powerful feeling. And I was just inspired by other people's music, so I was like, I want to make that shit myself, you know. And then DJing was just like kind of a way for me. Like I was already doing visuals. I'd already been hired for like visuals for other DJs and stuff like that. And then I was doing my own visuals because I wanted to like kind of introduce like the aesthetic of Water Spirit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then kind of the way to like put all of that together and have people experience like both the visuals and the music was like through DJing. So DJing was kind of like an afterthought for me of just like showing off what I was making. But also like DJing as an art form and DJing as a performance is something that I found like incredibly like rewarding, and also like incredibly like it teaches me more how to be myself and like be in front of people because I'm very like introverted. So it's taught me like a lot about just being more of a people person and getting in front of people and having a good time, and
I
fun shit.
appreciate you kind of describing that about you, and I don't know, it really shows. I love when you come down to the crowd and connect. You're very kind with taking photos, and you've been making a great name for yourself. So like people
Okay.
don't know a lot about what to expect when they want to. Hey, I want a photo. I want a photo, and like you're probably like seeing all these like humans, and you're just like, all right, I got y'all. But we're
Yeah.
excited for it.
I love that shit. That shit is so fucking awesome to me. I had a very wholesome experience at Project Z one time where I was like, yeah, I was pretty drunk, I'm not gonna lie. But like I was like the last set of the day and I was like, yo, I'll be kind of around the stage if you want to like hang out, and I still have videos from that I like go back and watch, and it just makes me so fucking happy to see everybody like excited to say hi and like take pictures and stuff like that. It's just like I can't get enough of that shit.
I mean, oh my god, my head's like spinning with so many different topics just from that explanation. But let me circle back with your music. I kind of wanted to understand a lot more of it. Like, I love what's the one track? Getting ready. No, it's damn it. It's keep moving, keep moving. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I love that, and you have up tempo tracks, and you've dibble dabbled into hard techno sounds.
Mhm.
So, do you have like an experimental perspective to when you produce, or do you try to stick to a template formula?
So there's like two sides to it, right? Because on one hand, EDM is very demanding on, and just music in general these days and content creation, it's very demanding that you like release music very steadily. and I always do have kind of a water spirit sound that I've like crafted that's like kind of 160 BPM acid sounds, rave stabs, like um that I produce like a lot of. And then same with the 200 BPM stuff. It's like that's like my home, right? Is like producing those kind of sounds.
Hmm.
But I always like to kind of like see where I can push things and try to do something different because I feel like that gives not only your project like a lot of longevity if you can like discover something really cool and new, but also like just fun to do new things. I enjoy it.
Awesome. I enjoy your track Aries, or if I'm saying it right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, Aries.
I recently got into uptempo more in the past year and a half or so. And just talking to Tripe did, he got me into like a lot of different areas of uptempo and hardcore I haven't like delved into, and it just brought me to appreciate the high energy of what hard dance has to offer a lot more. And
Yeah.
speaking of, he mentioned a festival called the Homie Collective Campout, which you recently just you got exposed that you're playing. So
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
want to
today. That
tell?
happened like a few hours ago. Yeah.
Do you,
I'm excited for that. The lineup is stupid sick. I was like, holy shit, they got like so many friends playing. I was like, damn, this is awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be high energy. I was really debating like not getting my ticket because I'm going to DEF CON and then Continent, but I'm just like looking at the lineup and I really might get the ticket. So
Yeah, yeah, you should. It'll be fun. We can hang out.
hell yeah, that'd be super dope. Have you played there before?
No, I played in Massachusetts once, but I've never played like a festival out there, I guess. I don't know. It was a good time though. I enjoy the area. It's very like very different from the South, so I enjoy it.
Do you have any festivals or like events you want to play at or like have like
Yeah.
aspirations for?
Yeah, well, obviously, there's a ton of European festivals that I think every person that produces hardstyle is like, I want to play, like DEF CON or like I want to play fucking Dominator or something like that. I do think Dominator is very on brand for my aesthetic, so I think Dominator would be super fun. But in terms of American festivals, Ultra and Beyond Wonderland happen kind of around my birthday, so I think that'd be really fun to like have like a little birthday festival moment. I want one of those.
Aw.
Yeah.
So with the energy you've been bringing to the stages, and I definitely think you will make that goal achievable and it will happen.
Mhm.
What kind of song or like toolkit do you build up to in your sets? Is there a particular song you always play at the end, or
It kind of like fluctuates throughout me building my discography. I always will like kind of switch out songs and stuff like that. Like in the past, I would always play like Aries and stuff, and I know people love that song, but I also have like so many other songs that I like playing. And to me, I hear these songs like 500 times before I release them. So I'm like, not to say that I don't enjoy playing them, but I do enjoy sprinkling new things in there and not having to hear the songs that often. But
yeah,
I really really love Equal Two's remix of mine and Dionysus's track Horrors.
fours? Mm,
Yeah, that's what I end with right now because I'm like, dude, this is so fucked up. Like, how are you? You're like evil, dude. Why would you ever make something like this? This is so cool.
bruh,
Like,
that is
that remix is fucked up.
yeah. I'd say like the way that ramps my energy up. Like
Mhm.
I need to literally get on. It's I can find it on hardstyle.com or like Beatport, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I need to put it in my USB.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
fun,
fucked up.
dude. So how do you feel about producing more up tempo as opposed to hardcore, hard techno, and hardstyle?
So I think I'm the, or at least the most comfortable and the fastest when I produce really like 200 BPM up tempo stuff, really noisy shit. I do think that like I feel like that is what I'm best at when I'm producing. And it's also kind of what I'm known for. Like I get booked a lot kind of at later time slots because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna get up there in BPM for sure. So we got to make sure that it's structured right. But I love producing anything for on the floor, anything, even stuff that's not for on the floor sometimes, like even halftime stuff or anything. I just love kind of heavy sounds and expressing that emotion on stage, and having that through my music. And it's been it's always kind of like I'll produce one of these genres like uptempo for a while. I'll do like 2 or 3 uptempo songs, and then I'm like, okay, just to give myself a break from uptempo, I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 160 songs, and I get tired of 160, and I go back to 200 and or 150, 155, anything.
I respect that. That's commendable, honestly. So with that, can you share a pivotal moment in your journey in your career where you had to adapt the change in your style and like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure you could see in my face that I had like a moment. Um, Yeah, so Texas recently. I went to Texas to play a deaf show that was with Abstract and Miha, and I was back to backing with Luca Lush, and there was so many kind of things that I was like, because I'm so used to being the most structured motherfucker. I have like 5 USBs that I bring. I like practice my sets like over and over and over and over and over again, and being a back to back, and Luca being like a fucking legend. He's like been DJing for so long and been producing like crack shit on SoundCloud for so long. He's just like, yeah, dude, let's just like go up and have fun. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. But he plays like 150 kind of techno, like hard techno, and then I do like 160 stuff. And then it was right after Abstract, so we were like, fuck, how do we structure this? And I just ended up having to kind of tone myself down from like jumping all the way to the higher BPMs. But it was really fun. I had a good time. I was fucking panicking on stage, but had a great time. It was good.
So did you learn how to rev down in a new way, or like have you not had to do that before?
Yeah, like, well, Water Spirit sets in general kind of follow a pretty regular structure that I think I probably picked up off of Little Texas, where it was like it's like we start slow, we end fast, or slow as in like 150. But like and then that set, we had, I forgot who it was, but there was a techno DJ performing after us that was like a 130 techno DJ. So we were like, okay, we have to end slow, and then the middle is going to be fast, and then we have to start slow. And then that was kind of tricky for me. Also, we only had like 3 CDJs, and the stage was like a 360 set, which I'd never done before. And so I only had one CDJ to kind of like figure out what I was doing on it, and then I would have to there was so much chaos. It worked out. Like, I think the set was fun. So
I would love to see a live stream of that set. I mean, it seems
yeah.
like you figured it out and you kind of like grew a big like learning curve from that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, thank God I was doing it with Luca, because he was like absolutely like he'd come over and whisper to me. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna like fade this one out. Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I got it." And then you kind of see me by the end. I think I got more comfortable with it, but before then, I was just like, "Fuck, what am I doing, dude? This is crazy." Because I like DJ like a lot of like freestyle stuff at like parties or like
Yeah.
online and stuff like that. I've never done that on stage because I'm so like I want to like craft an experience and stuff like that. Not like freestyling crafts its own really fucking cool experience too. I'm just like so like I'm a structured person.
Mm, very interesting. Um,
Hmm.
so what's your proudest achievement that you've attained, or
My
most
proudest
memorable
achievement.
moment?
I've had so many. I feel so blessed to be like in this community, and like be a part of any of this, and like as a kid that just like desperately wanted to like get into this scene and like have that kind of moment. I feel like I'm just constantly creating that kind of new moment for me where I'm like, fuck, this is like really cool. This is like sick. Playing EDC as my first festival was like a really big moment. Fucking terrifying, but like really big moment. And that was something I was really proud of. And but there's been so many moments since then that I'm also like, damn, that was really cool. Like playing Summoning Fest is like one of my favorite fucking festivals I've ever played, and fucking being part of that community as well, and being able to like hang out with the dubstep crew and like do that, it has been amazing. And then also having my little like hard dance family that I'm a part of and in the American scene. So it's like I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe I need to think about it more. But I've had many good moments, and I hope to continue that.
I mean, I don't know what it is. The first thing you said was literally the best answer to the question I have heard yet. I mean, honestly, it's such a strive or a pride thing to make sure that you continuously make memorable moments for you, the people around you, and just like grow with the scene. And
Absolutely.
that's crazy how it's like that was one of your wishes, and you're here, and you're still just in complete awe.
Yeah, always.
I mean, if you ever feel like you want to word the question, like message the account, I can paraphrase it. You're good to go. I got you. No
No, I
worries.
kind of like the rambling. I like, like,
Cool.
yeah.
So, do you have any tips for like producers and people that might have always dreamt to be part of the scene, and they're continuing to do so?
Yeah. Go to local shows. That's like a huge one for me. Is like go support other people and like, like once you're a producer and you're making music or posting mixes, whatever, you're gonna meet other people that have similar interests and you're gonna become friends with them pretty quickly as long as you're like open to that kind of experience. And then when your friends do play shows or somebody comes to your city, just really make it a point to like show up, say hi. It doesn't have to be a big conversation. You don't even have to really be backstage. Just like let people know that you exist and go from there and then make cool stuff, send it to people, be very vocal, be which it can be kind of scary, especially if you're like an introvert. But like, have fun, do cool things, like hang out with people and engage in a community.
Um, that's amazing. Respectfully, if you don't mind, if I do pry with this question, because you did admit you were introvert earlier, is there anything
Mhm.
specific that has helped you kind of come out of the shell and expose yourself to the scene?
Um, just fucking go for it. Like that's honestly is like the only thing that I did. I did not like baby step my way into it. It was just like, okay, I guess I'm doing this thing now. Cause it's like, if you care about it enough, I think you can hopefully overcome your anxieties. And if your anxieties are very strong, then maybe you can kind of like baby step your way into like kind of more experiences and stuff like that. But yeah, also I think just being honest with yourself that you are introverted. You don't have to force yourself to be somebody you're not. And if you feel like you're being awkward or like whatever, like just embrace it. Have a good time with it.
I'm without words. I mean, I'm in I hate saying this, introverted extrovert. You know how when the
Yeah.
people morph or whatever, it's like I can be in a crowd of people, but my social battery runs out very quickly. And I'm mostly an introvert, where it's like if there's such great opportunity to do something, sometimes I'm just like, I need to stay home. I can't, and like sometimes I do force myself and push myself, and in the middle of those moments, I'm like, I'm not really talking to people. I don't know if people are looking at me. And it's like, I completely get that. I think your advice resonates with me a lot, even in my journey and my future. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, being self-aware about where your social battery is very helpful as well, and like making sure that you like take care of yourself and that you also just engage. I think that's something, especially like after COVID, that I think a lot of people had problems with, where it's like they're not really going to shows that much anymore, or not really like stepping out as much as they used to. So like I think everybody had to rebuild that ability to socialize.
Yeah. No, that's a strong point, honestly. Um,
Hmm.
so with traveling, well, you're stationed in Florida, right?
Correct.
Based in Florida. So how do you go around with traveling, and how do you deal with that? Like, how often is it?
So it's not like overwhelmingly. It's like every like maybe like if I spaced it all out in terms of like it's like about a show a month if I do that in terms of like flying out. Um, but sometimes it'll be like three in 1 month, or it'll be like no shows for 2 months, and it'll be like a bunch in some other months. And I really enjoy seeing new places and experiencing new things. So that part is very fun. Flying is a bit of a chore sometimes, but I would do whatever it takes to get myself to these places. So it's all good.
Cool. Do you get like compensated for the travel, or like sometimes do you have to like take one for the team for yourself?
It's mostly a negotiation, so there's a lot of like kind of back and forth with my manager, and like if they want to like not do the travel, but like pay us extra or something like that, something like that happens. So it doesn't. There's never like a set rule, especially if you're doing like hard dance. There's a lot of like kind of DIY communities popping up and stuff like that that'll want you to go there, and so you never want to like just be like, this is my hard limit. It's always a talk, and sometimes they'll cover the entire trip. Sometimes they just want to pay up front, and then you can book the flights and stuff like that. But as long as I'm making money, I'm happy.
Perfect. That information helps our team a lot because, best be known, we're gonna try our hardest to try to make you come out again to California. I know you've played in LA. Have you ever played in San Diego before?
No, I haven't played in San Diego. I really want to though. I think that'd be so fun.
We got
I've
to
had some talks about some San Diego stuff, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna set something solid soon.
100%. We will. Um,
Hmm.
so I forgot the other question I was gonna ask off the top of my head. Maybe it'll come around to me. But uh, oh yeah, no, that's what it was. So how's the scene in your area?
The scene in Orlando is actually very interesting because it's so like DIY, but also we have like EDC Orlando, and we also have a venue, Vanguard, which I think is like close ties with Insomniac. So we get a lot of like people flying in, and I get to see my friends like pretty often down here, which is nice because they'll like come in and play a show. And In terms of hard dance, there's not too much going on in Orlando. Like, we used to have the hard dance stage at EDC Orlando, but that it hasn't happened in a few years. So I hope to see that back sometime. But yeah, it's like a pretty decent city for like EDM in general. And if you're really into like DIY noise shows and shit like that, and just like going in the woods and seeing some people like ride on the ground with a guitar, like we
Mm.
got you. That'll happen.
Just for the viewers, can you explain what DYI is?
Or yeah, DIY is like do it yourself.
Oh, do it
Yeah.
yourself. Okay. I was trying to do a little, yeah, for the viewers, but me screwing up
Yeah,
the
yeah.
name itself. It's like I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's just when a bunch of kids bring a bunch of amps and they're like, "This is a show now. Show up and fucking party." And you're like, "Hell yeah, dude, I'm there."
I mean, it's pretty prevalent here. It's been hard to try to do something safe, and that's our top priority as
Mhm.
anyone that wants to throw a party. Well, I would hope it would be, but yeah, I think a lot of collectives out here are trying to either find new methods of making things happen safely still, or just going legit, getting a venue, and that's my dream. Like I just want to help grow the scene where there's a safe environment for people to love the hard dance music.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so what's it called? What's your opinion on how the scene is going in America in comparison to Europe with hard dance?
Um, I think the American scene is so cool and like interesting. I obviously like I think the goal of a lot of American hard dance people is to like break into that European scene and do like, like stuff over there, stuff over here too. And I think that the sounds are definitely the American sound is definitely inspired by the European sound, like a lot. There's a lot of really cool front runners out there that I think a lot of American producers are looking at being like, this guy gets it.
Mhm.
Um, and But the American scene also has its own little community and family. And I think while a lot of people wish it was bigger, I think it's very important to like cherish the fact that we get to experience it growing. And while it's small, and when it gets bigger, it'll get bigger, and I'm sure when it gets bigger, we'll be like, damn, remember when it was small? That's so cool. And then the same, when it gets even bigger than it is now, it'll go where it needs to. But yeah, it's exciting. I think a lot of the producers here are doing really cool shit, and I also think a lot of the producers in Europe are doing some really cool shit. So it all balances out. I do think the American scene has a different sound. Like we're inspired by the European scene, but we do also have like different styles and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I feel like we're very experimental, hybrid. We stick to a formula nonetheless, but we're
mhm.
doing our best to push the boundaries of like being distinct, like uniqueness, and that's forever respected. That's I think commendable.
Yeah, I do think we're going to see a lot more like hard techno fusion stuff happening in America for sure.
Did you notice the interview that I think EDM Identity had with Angerfist? He had a lot to say about the morphing of the hard techno and hard style.
Yeah, I didn't read the entire thing. I did see it, and I scrolled through it, and I saw that they were talking about hard techno, and he was like, "Yeah, I still fuck with it. Like, it's still a cool ass sound." And it's like, yeah, we're using the same sound. It's just a slightly different tempo, maybe, and like the kicks aren't as hard. But when you think about it, like a techno kick, or at least like a rumble techno kick, is just like a hardstyle gated kick, like with a little bit of less distortion. It's the same sounds.
Hey, bro, you go to like Activator back when he started doing his hard trance into blending into hard style. It's literally
Mhm.
techno elements. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy how we're just kind of like branding a new evolution of music by using an old archaic sound we've all forgotten but always loved.
Mhm. For sure.
Um, but yeah, no, I think that's really cool how you explain all of that. I think it's treasurable that you're mentioning to live in the moment and appreciate the journey itself, because when we're at the end goal, we're going to look back and be like, wow, that was a lot. Like, we did a lot and we're here now, but like, remember when. I think
Yeah.
that's perfectly said.
I also think that it's like cool because it's like when it's small, the individuals, it's so easy to get involved with the community right now. Like, like I see the same people at shows. I notice that fans come to multiple shows and like same with like industry people that are supporting us. Like it's so easy to be involved right now. And I think that that becomes a lot harder when scenes get bigger. So, you know.
That's a very strong point. Um,
Mhm.
with all your beautiful points, I think we should just conclude, wrap it up. I really appreciate and respect your time. Um, and I know it's 420. I don't know how many party favors you involve yourself with, but we all want
Not
to hear
many.
from
I'm probably going to have like a beer today, and that's gonna be like my fucking wow. I'm getting inebriated. Like that's awesome.
Stop, stop. Well, I mean, I'll let you get to your rest of your day. Again, this is a great opportunity. I've had to speak with you. Trust me when I say, a good amount of my friends are like, "Oh my god, like, I'm so excited!" Like I asked them, I was like, "What are some questions you want me to ask them?" And so out of this interview, like some of that came out, and it's just amazing to know how you were discovered, how you came to be, and all of that. So I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you so much, dude. This is awesome. Really
Cool.
appreciate it.
If I come out to Homie Collective, I'll hit you up. We'll definitely grab a conversation together
Yeah, yeah, yeah. DM me and yeah, we'll hang.
for sure. Well, best luck in your journey. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.